It's a lovely, sunny, bright day today. So look at me. I've even got a short sleeve shirt on. I'm feeling full of the joys of spring. How are you guys? Who's with me? Who's on this little journey today? I'm going to keep it brief. But what I'm going to tell you should be incredibly illuminating for you. Sandra, say hello. Shane, where have you been? Talk to me. How are you? Who's on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn? Emmanuel Ale, say hello. How are you? Let me know that you are well before I get into the main content as I gather a wonderful audience up. Hey, says Emmanuel Ale, 8090. Chantal says hi. How are you, Chantal? She's watching from YouTube, our YouTube channel, Zina Acting Tips. Make sure you check it out. So, who's on? I'm good, says Emmanuel. Right, so I'm going to get going because I've got a lot to cover in a very short space of time. Sophie, I hope you're well. Right, so this is one reason. If somebody said, what's the biggest reason why actors don't succeed like they should? And I would say it's because they don't take the business side of things very seriously. And they don't forecast like all good businesses should. They don't look into the future. They don't act like a business does. I'm a business in a lot of ways. So what do? I forecast, I look into the future. When you're a business, you have to keep up with trends. You have to keep up with modern business techniques. You have to look at where the industry's going, but you have to look at where the world's going as well. But actors don't do this because we want to just go do some training, get an agent, and then just hope and pray that that agent gets us an audition. Then we go do our thing and we get a big part. It really doesn't work like that, okay? And there's so many people come out of training and realize that very, very quickly. You have to become business. You have to diversify your offering. You have to go and do other things to keep the money rolling in, to keep you have to grow your brand. You have to grow your value. You have to become bigger and better and more valuable than other people because you're in a competition. It's a business. It's you're trying to get people to use your business rather than another business. However, what I'm going to talk to you about today is once I've really got into your head that really you're a business and you need to operate as such, I'm going to say that, look, you also need to look at what the modern world of business and what's happening, all right? And think, how can I adapt my acting business to fit in with the rest of the world? So let's talk through a few things. Personal branding, content creation, online, social media. Actors traditionally hate this, okay? But whether you like something or not is irrelevant. I didn't like this when I first started, but I knew that it was the future. Whether you like something or not doesn't mean it's not true. Does that make sense? Okay. Lots of things come in. Would we have chosen where we're at digitally with people with phones glued to the face all the time 20, 30 years ago? I think we wouldn't have, but it came upon us. It's happening. So we have to either adapt or get left behind. Okay. So what is personal branding? Personal branding is creating a personal brand for social media, for basically online presence where people are drawn towards us, our message, what we can teach, what we can add in terms of value, whether it's documenting, whether it's teaching other people, whether it's having a message around, I don't know, maybe female empowerment, or whatever it is that your message is. You create a personal brand around you and what you stand for and what you're about. It might even be documentation of your acting journey, but people draw towards that. You create a personal brand where people are drawn towards you. You've got lots of eyes on you, and then film companies, theatre companies are relying on that personal brand, those eyes on you, to then turn that into ticket sales, turn that into views, turn that into people watching series, films. All right? It's here. It's here. Make sure that you get on it. Make sure you begin now. Don't get left behind, because it will be all about personal brand, eyes on in 5-10 years' time. This is already how a lot of casting decisions are made. It probably will be how all casting decisions are made at some point. So don't get left behind. Okay, people hate this message. If you don't like this message, comment, let me know. I, in a lot of ways, don't like it either. Doesn't make it not true. Does that make sense? We can fight against it, but at the end of the day, again, productions are a business, film, TV, a business. So therefore, you know, they need to get eyes on their production that's going to get revenue by whatever means they can. And if it's people with personal brands that they can select for medium, smaller roles, or even big roles, they'll do it. Okay? Talent, yes, most people can act. You go to an audition, you line people up, everyone there can do a job. All right? I'm afraid that any audition is not an acting competition. This is another misdemeanor. It doesn't make sense. It's not an acting competition. All right? Because it's so subjective and, you know, objective, subjective, you know, because it's preference and things like that. As long as you have a certain degree of training, everyone there can act. This is one of the things that people don't realize. Okay? I am Junior says, hi, how are you doing? Get involved in the chat, guys. Tell me if you agree. Tell me if you disagree. All right? There is a certain level of acting that people get to, but from there and beyond, all right, genuinely, it becomes subjective. It becomes, I mean, look at Keanu Reeves, one of the greatest, most valuable actors, but in terms of his technique, acting technique, he's not great, okay? Lots of people might disagree with that, but he's not great. But he's got value. He gets to a certain level where he can do a job, but he's created other value around himself. Controversial, because actors just love Keanu, but then when they realize, when they get into technique coaching, they realize that he's lacking. All right. Now, next thing, think about it. This is going to shock you. Crypto, NFT. All right. Who has spent, you're a business, so you're an acting business. Which one of you guys has spent any time researching crypto and NFTs? Anybody? Well, let me tell you, this is it. It comes upon you so quickly. And if you're not ahead of it, you struggle. Cryptocurrency. Even the government are looking to create a cryptocurrency. Okay? You probably, in 5-10 years' time, could be paid for jobs, okay, in cryptocurrency. As well as that, NFTs. We have people creating NFTs that are effectively non-fungible tokens that are actually being used for entry for concerts, okay? Who says that in 5-10 years' time, and I reckon at some point in the next year, somebody will try this, but an NFT will become a ticket for a theatre performance? Have you even thought of this stuff? This is the stuff. You're a business. You should be researching this. I'm a business. I'm having to research things that maybe sometimes don't interest me, but then become quite interesting because I know they're about business. NFTs, cryptocurrency, I know it's going to become part of the acting business. I'm learning it and I'm having to, you know, I'm enjoying it. This is what I do, but I'm passing it on to actors. I'm learning it because I know that it's my responsibility as an acting coach, as a mentor, to know this stuff, because this is where the industry is going. Who's researched crypto, NFT? We must understand this stuff because it's going to become part of our profession. I promise you, in the next year, there'll be a theatre production that is sold purely on NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Look it up. I haven't got all day, all right? Genuinely, that will happen. As well as that, people will still, at some point, will be paid in cryptocurrency. Let's have a look. Hi, Matt. Amanda says, hi, Matt, just joined. Still juggling a new house, starting Airbnb property to allow time for acting. Brilliant. Still love learning lines while I'm organizing. Thank you for these videos. Oh, Amanda, thank you so much. You are absolutely welcome. That's what it's all about. And Amanda, as soon as possible, it'll be great to see you again soon at MZA. You're a legend. Anyone else that wants to join MZA, I'm giving away free trial classes. So just get in touch. DM me on social media, email matt@mzacting, and I will get a free trial class, whether online or in person in the Yorkshire region. You just get in touch with me. I'll get you a free trial class. Who's ever looked into kind of, again, we've seen it already, that actors are still behind on it, but we've seen modern kind of proof marketing, casting networks saying, look, you're going to have to prove your skills. Uploading videos, whereas Spotlight is still quite old-fashioned, but Spotlight has been bought by casting networks. So Spotlight soon will have videos uploaded where you have to prove your accents, skills, languages, right? Who's got into that? Who does this? Who makes sure that this is a big part of their application? Who spends a lot of time making sure that they are researching the modern world of business on a daily basis, or who's just sat around waiting for their agent to call? You cannot do that. You're a business. Businesses need to stay ahead. If you don't move forward, you either stand still or get behind. Standing still by its very definition is getting behind. Okay? Get ahead of all this stuff, all these suggestions, all right? As well as that, make sure that you understand the way that viewing and audiences and the way that they want to absorb, let's call it content, films, keep ahead of it. Now, TV series try and at least give 3-4 episodes up front, because that's how people want. People don't want to wait a week to absorb an episode. They want it all at once. They want it to fit in with them. They want to be able to get hold of things very, very quickly. As well as that, not many people for average television series, for average whatever it is, content, etc., are prepared to sit around and even watch a film these days. Films are becoming less and less popular. Cinemas, they are looking, it's looking ropey for cinemas at the minute, right? Whether you like it or not, again, doesn't mean it's not true. All right. So what does that do for an actor? How does that mean for your business? What are you going to get? How are you going to navigate this? Are you going to have this dream of movies and films, or will movies and films even be around in 10 years' time? You've got to have this thought. I think so. I hope so. Will cinemas be around? Not sure, you see. This is all the thoughts and forecasting you've got to do. The one thing that we are very, very aware of is that content and entertainment is becoming shorter and shorter form. The most successful videos I do are 15 seconds long. They get thousands and thousands and thousands of views, and that's the way that the industry is going. What have you created? Have you created anything that's kind of 15 seconds long, that hooks people, that grabs people? Now it's time to get good at it. Practice it, because there'll be companies throwing money down actors' necks that are able to create good, engaging, hooking, short form videos. Can you do that? Have you practiced that? All right. Now, all of these things, I hope, haven't just kind of blown your mind and gone, I don't know any of that. That's actually the idea. I did mean to do that, because I hope it shocks you into realizing that maybe your acting business needs to do some forecasting, needs to be looked into, needs to be you need to get ahead of this, and you need to research, because you are an acting business. You have an awful lot invested in this, and you have far too much invested in it for you to get left behind or stand still just because you've not put the work in to get ahead of what modern business practices are, what the modern world is doing, and how you and your business fit into that. Wow, I hope it helps. Right, few things, okay? One, I said already, if you want a free online acting class, DM me, get me at matt@mzacting.com. free acting class online or free acting class in person if you're in the Yorkshire region. Lucky you. Come along. Secondly, remember the Zina Acting app. Go on Google App Store, Google Play, go on the iOS App Store, Zina Acting. Make sure you download it right now. On there, 21 different locations where you can look for your own acting roles, plus the top casting directors in the US and the top casting directors in the UK. And once you download the app, it all becomes clear, because I help you be able to contact them, be able to apply for your own roles. Make sure you download that straight away. What else? Got all sorts going on. Make sure you get on the Actors Worldwide group on Facebook, which is like free acting advice, with massive group of over 1,600 actors that are primarily there because they want acting advice, and it's all there. Zina Acting tips on YouTube. Make sure you get on there. Make sure you subscribe. There's a new episode every single week. And remember the Act Now podcast. Make sure you get across it all. Much love, everyone. Have an amazing day, and I hope to